Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I hadn't got my August baits in yet. So I'm gonna kind of do August and September baits. I'll do another video for September. I'll just do August for now, and I'll do one for September later. I was going to get it done earlier in the month. Work, life, and boat was in the shop, and getting the compression check done on the motor. I blew cylinder 4 in my old motor over on Uchi in Oklahoma, fishing our club tournament. So yeah, that's not been a good month for me anyway. Had a bad storm last night, and got a few leaves in my boat. I usually have it covered up, but I had it uncovered. I was going to do my video, and I was trying to get a couple things done to the boat, and didn't realize it was going to storm like it did last night. We got some hail and high winds, and anyway, yeah. But I will be doing a video on taking your oiling system off of your older motor. I wouldn't be where I am today if I'd have taken it off last year like I started to, and I let somebody talk me out of taking that oiling system off my motor. And so here we go. Anyway, one of my top baits for this month is going to be a True Faith custom bait buzz bait. Couldn't find what I did with it. True Faith custom bait buzz bait. Very well built buzz bait. They come out of the box already having a good chime sound to them. They have an awesome hook, good strong hook on them, and you can put your plastics. It's got a keeper on the head, keeps your plastics held in place. You got plenty of room for your plastic trailer and room for the fish to get his mouth on there and jack him up and get him in the boat. This is one of my favorite colors. It's a shad color. Really good buzz bait. But that's going to be my #1 bait for the month of August, and going in September and October and part of November. As long as the water temperature stays in the mid 50s, I'll be throwing buzz bait. Anyway, I throw the buzz bait on a 7'3" medium heavy Falcon rod, and 18-pound Sunline Sniper fluorocarbon, and I throw it on an 8 or 7 to 1 gear ratio reel, because as soon as this thing hits the water, I need to be reeling, keeping it up on top of the water. And this time of year, I'm putting it right on the bank. I mean, on the bank, pulling it out in the water, and bring it over rock piles, brush, laydowns, stumps, whatever is up there shallow. This time of the year, there's a lot more fish shallow than a lot of people realize. The oxygen content a lot of times is a lot better up there shallow, especially if you can get back in the backs of creeks or up a river where they have a lot more shade during the day from the trees, overhanging trees. And if you got some overhangs making shade in the water, that is a perfect place to find the bass hanging out, waiting to ambush bluegill and bait fish and crawdads, whatever they have around the area to eat. Another one of my favorite baits to use is a wobble head. You've seen me use wobble heads in my past videos. Wobble head with Big Bite Baits Fighting Frog or a Zoom Z-Craw, either one of those. And I'm throwing this on my G Loomis NRX Plus 7'5" fast heavy action rod. I've got 18-pound fluorocarbon on it, and I've got a, what is this one? 7:2-to-1 gear ratio reel on this one. That way I can slowly reel that thing across the bottom and cover a lot of water with it, and the bass love it. I think this is a 1 ounce wobble head, so I can fish deep. I can fish out deep points, ledges, bluffs and bluffs ends, and that way I can feel the bottom. I can keep contact with the bottom. Got a fray in my line right there. I have to cut that out. Anyway, that's going to be another bait that I'm going to definitely be throwing. Another bait is just the old True Faith custom bait jig. And this is a bluegill color. I don't know if you can see those colors in that or not, but that's a bluegill color. It's got purples and blues. This is a skipping jig. I can skip it up under boat docks. Boat docks is a great place to find them in August because it's continuous shade in a boat dock. They just have to move around the dock during the day to stay in the shade. And I skip it under overhanging trees, skip it up into laydowns. Wherever I need to skip it, I can skip this thing up in there. I usually use a Zoom Z-Craw because it's a flat bait, and it skips very well. Another bait that I will be using is a True Faith custom bait swim jig. True Faith custom bait swim jig. It's got that same bluegill color skirt on it. Another excellent bait to be throwing around the boat docks. You can pitch that up there in that boat dock slip and bring it out beside the boat hoists. You can bring it out beside the floats, just whatever's in the water. If you can find a boat dock that has a lot of cedar trees or man-made trees, some kind of cover around that boat dock hanging off of there, you can throw that swim jig around it and they're going to come out and nail it. Very, very good bait for this time of year. Fish it up shallow just like I do the buzz bait. Throw it under the overhangs, around laydowns, around stumps. Like I said, I do a lot of shallow fishing during this month. Anyway, and another bait that I will be using is the old shaky head, True Faith custom bait head. and I'll be throwing a Zoom trick worm, or this is not a trick worm. This is, you can see this has been used. This is a Zoom. It's had a brain fart. Well, shoot. I imagine some of you recognize this little Zoom worm. I just can't think the name of it right now for some reason. Maybe I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, this little worm, or a trick worm, used on that shaky head this time of year. If the fish is being finicky, they'll come out and inhale that. And of course, you know my tube. I'll always have a tube tied on. Drop shot can be good. I'm not a big drop shot guy. I do it sometimes if I have to, but it's just not my favorite thing to do. And I know a lot of people catches a lot of fish on them, but that's just not the way I like to fish. And last but not least, the old Zoom old monster. I gotta have my Zoom old monster in the hot months, and I catch a lot of fish on it. I'll throw this on a wobble head, and I'll Texas rig it. And it itches. And then also I will use a Core Tackle. Core Tackle makes some really good products, and I use a Core Tackle Ozark rig. Put that on that Ozark rig. And any of those three ways, I can throw that thing in 6 inches of water, and I can throw it all the way out into 30 foot of water. And most of the time I'm not doing the normal hopping. Most time I'm dragging. I drag it to the side, throw it out there, let it hit the bottom, and I'll drag to the side, 15, 18 inches, take up the slack. Drag it just a little ways, take up the slack. Seems like during the summertime I have a lot better luck catching fish by dragging my bait instead of working it like a traditional worm. Sometimes they want it worked like just a traditional worm, throw it out there and hop it up off the bottom, but most time I'm dragging it. So anyway, there's my baits for this month. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the water.